So you've been asked to either develop a all new AI for your company, or you're trying to implement some AI features. Where do you start? So how do you ensure that one, it's implemented well, and two, that it's adopted and used properly, adding value to the personas that you've identified that this has value to? How do you ensure that it meets their needs and adopt it? I offer 4 considerations for you as you embark on this new project. Welcome back, YouTube. Tony here, helping you build better experiences. Today we're going to talk about AI. This technology has hit the ground and it's running at the speed of light. How do we get the most out of whether it's a feature or standalone app? How are we getting the most out of this new hot trend in technology? How are we ensuring that we're not only implementing the right thing, but right for the users, and providing and making good on that value? Consideration number 1. So my first talking point is around making this AI implementation still be human-centered. Despite these technological advances, your aim is still to cater to the needs of the person that's using, your user, and what they're trying to accomplish, their preferences, their needs, and existing behaviors. How is this new feature that you're implementing, this new AI, going to help them not only accomplish their needs, but how does it fit into existing patterns that they're already solving or already using to solve their problems? How is leveraging the AI going to better that experience or help them be more productive around their needs? Maintaining this human-centered approach, it's a mindset that I think that you have to have, and I think we need it despite all these advancements and the things that AI brings to the table. At the end of the day, AI is here to assist users and not take over, take control and dictate the experience. You still want your users to be in the driver's seat. How are we enabling them to still have control? How do we understand what maybe their limitations are, their biases, and take an account for that in the process of using the AI system? I really like this notion or this stance that Microsoft has with Copilot. The whole branding behind that is they're not in the driver's seat; they're there to assist users, and I think that's the approach that we all should take when developing and implementing AI features. Is that it's there to support, it's there to help, and not necessarily to take control, especially of the decision-making process. It's there to give us information to make better decisions quicker. How do we make sure that, one, we address that elephant in the room, but then also give users the control to understand that they're in the driver's seat of this process and the AI is just there to support? Consideration number 2. The second talking point is this concept of trust. And as these tools get more advanced, the more we're developing more of a relationship with the tools and the devices that are in AI enabled. How are we combating this preconceived notion and mental models that AI is evil? For example, thinking back to like Skynet and it being the beginning of the downfall of humanity. How are we ensuring and informing users of the intent of our AI, its limitations, its accuracy, be some hurdles you have to get over with perception of what AI is, and putting some transparency around the recommendations. Can we put users at ease that, hey, this information is gathered from reputable data sources, And here is an example or explanation of where this information came from, that the AI came to a conclusion that's not overwhelming to the user, still in layman's terms, but not overwhelming them. Is our UI clear, concise, and understandable? How did it formulate this data to come up with this suggestion, this output of data? Where did it come from? How did it surmise that based on my prompts? Making this information clear, understandable, in layman's terms, I think will help add to the trust. Consideration number 3. One of the more exciting parts of where we're headed with AI is this idea, the concept around personalization, and how there's a relationship dynamic that we're embarking on, where the AI can learn over time from users interacting with it, and how that impacts the experience as a whole. How does it help the AI actually become better at supporting users? And that relationship dynamic is really cool to think about. How something starts off as, out of the box, something maybe not as effective, but learning and growing based on the interaction between its users and being better over time. Value of the tool can be increased over time with a user's interaction with it. It learns over time. It gets better over time. One of the current examples of a tool getting better over time based on user interactions with it is the Nest thermostat. How it learns your habits. What times of day are you comfortable at different temperatures when you're away from the house? How can it save you by increasing the temperature, but also making it comfortable by the time you get home? Like, it learns that over time, and so you don't have to touch it. I can see this pattern being picked up in different applications, different AI-enabled applications, and just being very successful and prominent over time. Consideration number 4. My final talking point is around ethics. When we look at ethics, we're looking at things like transparency, which we mentioned earlier, equality. How are we not unconsciously putting in biased information in the data sets? How are we ensuring that a user's interactions and the data that they supply is secured? Thinking about in areas like finance or medical applications for AI, how are we being secure in protecting that data? I think this is going to be huge, not only from a business standpoint, but kind of ties into the whole trust thing of how are you using the data that's input? How are you protecting that data? How are you protecting me as an individual? Let's assume that I am putting personal information in. Is that safe? Is there any kind of accountability on the other end for the companies that are producing these AI tools that will comfort the user in using it and not be a source of friction for them getting the value out of the AI tool? As we continue to grow and develop these tools, I think ethics is going to be a huge discussion point going forward with all AI. Are there any talking points that I missed here? Do you think there's anything outside of these 4, which most likely is, as we're unpacking what this means from an experience standpoint? We're still understanding the technology. It's moving at the speed of light right now. If you can think of any other pillars or considerations out of these 4, other than these 4, to consider, put them down in the comments and let's have a discussion. And always remember, good design is good business. Until next time.